see how other people suffer.
Oh boy. And we're gonna start right here with a sword right in Link's house off the bat, and some bombs in the sanctuary chest. So pretty solid start.
Yeah, so actually finding that sword might actually directly decide to do the escape section. We got a map check. I didn't catch it all, but I think there was a crystal in Eastern.
Yeah, that was way too fast for me to catch as well. We have 20 rupees on the tree pole here. So money problems? Hopefully not. And getting synced up here. We'll have what looks like a lumberjack check here from both Artie Walsh and Frostbite, while Solsky making their way down to Uncle, and PKR picking up 300 rupees there from the Thief's Hideout in Lost Woods.
Yeah, those 300 rupees will remove all the other money problems we had after those 20 rupees from the recall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and PKR sees 20 rupees in the mushroom spot, so decides to forego them, which makes sense after finding 300 rupees. So,
hey, more money from the crab.
Meanwhile, Solsky decides to go straight for the actual escape clear here. Yadorunus going for the more regular Kakariko start.
Yeah, with that fighter sword and the escape potion of escape isn't really that bad. Yeah, at least got a weapon that's reliable.
It'll be fun.
Hey,
oh wow!
Flute!
Wow! Blind's hut is stacked. 4 items already there. Let's see what the 5th is for us. Just a blue rupee, but still, wow! That was a Blind stole a lot of stuff there. Flute, Moonpearl, Glove, and the Cane of Burna.
But you forgot the most important item, a Bugnet. We don't have that yet.
Yeah, that perhaps we'll find that, so we can finally defeat Aghanim. And the other runners here also finding these items in Blind's Hut. Fire Rod in the well. This is a stacked Kakariko already.
Yeah, but so far not that much that will give us immediate access. We need at least 1 more glove or hammer for Darkwood access. Or, well, if we find something for Desmond, we could go over there as well, but currently there's only 1 item we can get logically.
And Solsky finishes their escape sequence here. Of course, not going to the back there, but the front didn't have anything, so unfortunate.
PKR missing the chicken clip. Many people will not go for the chicken clip because you can actually kind of softlock yourself by doing that.
That is true. That happened to me once. I was very upset because I had otherwise a pretty good chicken clip there. And well, after a very strong starting Kakariko, not all that much good stuff left. Just some arrows and heart pieces and cash. We're gonna see what the library has for us today.
Another sword. You might pick that up.
And did you catch what was on the lumberjack cave? I didn't see that.
I didn't catch that.
Ah, well. 10 arrows in the race game. Runners probably will forgo that unless they decide to gamble straight for the race game. And even then, they might just not pick it up.
10 arrows aren't worth it. If it would be something like rupees, sure, why not? You already have the way through.
There's a blue male on the Hylia Island. Do you think any of the runners will opt to pick it up?
I could see them pick it up if they go from Swamp Palace to Ice Palace or something like that. Or from... Otherwise, no, not really.
Of course, there's always another male that we might find. So, if it was the red male, probably not many runners would opt to grab that.
PK are doing a check early on that many runners do 1 hour into the game. Sashwala, 3 items in the back. Oh damn, it's the ice rod is found.
There's the ice rod. I mean, depending on what the runners do, might still troll some of them, but yeah, your dream might not come true. Let's see what the dam holds for us today. 50 rupees inside, and let's see what the sunken treasure is on Artie Walsh's side here.
Oh, hookshot.
Oh, hookshot. Yeah, very much so.
We can't get inside of the swamp area now, so a bit early. But with that hookshot, we will be able to pretty much clear out the entirety of Lightworld Death Mountain, except for Hera.
And if you count it as part of Light Death Mountain, the Spike Cave as well, because we need a hammer for that. Although it's technically in a dark world, but you can access it from the light world. And Mini Moldrum Cave, pretty disappointing so far. Just a lot of money and some heart pieces.
Yeah, these Moldrums wanted to make sure that you have enough money for Zora.
Yeah, this is a very rich seed so far. We already found 2 stacks of 300 rupees in very short order. So I don't think our runners are gonna be having any money troubles anytime soon.
Olch now deciding to go to Sashwala as well.
Yeah, looks like it. Meanwhile, Frostbite is going to the Ice Road Cave. And Pink Kitty Rose decides to climb Death Mountain. So a lot of diversions are ready.
Yeah. Walsh finds his ice rod, crushing my dreams.
Solsky decides to make a Desert Ledge check here, just a big 20 on there. Does not pick up Agina though.
Mirror on the Ice Rod Cave. I think that could be important. Gets us access to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, also a very useful mobility item overall because it shortens, traversing dungeons, especially big ones such as Pod.
And also adds a few locations to the logic, like Graveyard Ledge and K45.
Yeah, that's true. Just 10 arrows here on the old man. But at least we get a save point, so always worth doing that.
Frostbite apparently picked up the sword from Link's house, so he will actually be able to beat Tower of Hera because he got a fire rod as fire, so there will be no problems.
And of course, weapon in order to beat Moldrum as well, which PKR does not have yet.
Yep, PKR decided, hey, I don't need that Link item.
And speaking of PKR, she also decides to go for the Spectacle Rock Hint here. Meanwhile, Artie Walsh is fake flippering. With the Moon Pearl, they can access the Waterfall Cave as well.
A single rupee in Spectacle Rock, they will still go check it, and there's a unique item in Skull Woods. A ball and a few rupees more in the waterfall fishing.
Meanwhile, Solsky decides to do the back of escape.
Solsky, the only one that even checked a single chest in escape yet.
Yeah. Red Meringue, the key to the dark section, and
and he has the map, so there's an item in that dark section, and he can check it. We'll use the fire rod to light his way a bit. Knowing those torches, not needed to traverse through the groups, but it helps.
While PKR going for Paradox Cave. Makes sense, that is a lot of items. 2 here in the... Well, that's why it's a Paradox Cave. You can't say it's the lower part or the upper part because, you know, both is correct. Just the hard piece, so the escape was pretty much empty. Unless you're a big fan of the red boomerang, I guess.
Hey, you can make the red boomerang work. You usually could just use bombs, but it does work.
Oh yeah, it is a convenience item, but yeah. Where's the bow here?
Bow.
And another sword. So Aghanim's still very much on the table. We would need to find a lamp in order for that to be a thing. Meanwhile, we still do not have either a second glove or a hammer in order to access our glove.
Yeah, and even if we would find the second glove, we could still be forced into Aga if we are really, really unlucky.
Yeah. If the hammer is on the eastern side of the Dark World and we do not find the flippers either, then Aghanim is going to be indeed required.
Even if you would find the flippers, there's still a little location that you can't logically access without the hammer. That's the Pearl Ferry.
And an actually useful hint here in the bottom of the bottom plate of Hera here, saying that there's only trash in the left side of Misery Maya, the Firelock side. So we're not going to have to worry about the cutscene room.
I personally love the hints for the left side of Maya and Swamp. They are always really helpful.
Yeah, they can be very useful, unless, of course, you know, you're ready to left side of Maya or Swamp. Forget to that hint.
Or you get like the hints that the big keys on the left Swamp with trash otherwise. Do you go back for the big key to get the big chest?
Did you see what that hint in the upper part of Tower of Hera said?
No, I didn't.
It said that the boots are in Thieves Town.
Huh? The boots make Thieves Town quick, so the thieves decided, hey, let's fix them up.
So what's interesting here is with this hint, the boots hint I think is guaranteed to be somewhere in one of the hint tiles. There's always going to be a hint for the boots in the game, I think.
Yeah,
as far as I understand
one hint for the boots must be in the game, as far as I know.
So I assume that's going to be the hint, and that was the most straightforward hint I've seen so far. So for the boots, so that's good.
I had yesterday 2 hints directly stating where the boots are.
Oh yeah, now that you remind me, yesterday's daily had the hint that the boots are in the left side of Swamp, which also had the bow. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
A compass here off of Moldorm and the first crystal for Frostbite.
Yep, 40 minutes and 19 seconds for the first crystal. Quite quick.
So Pink Kitty Rose opting to do the escape now, and we'll find that there's nothing really of value in here.
at least she will have the Master Sword, which makes some of the enemies much quicker. She also has the bow, which also makes a lot of enemies quicker, so she can make use of all of the stronger weapons.
And Frostbite here, checking the basement of Hera, hoping that there's going to be a progression item in there.
So we still looking for the hammer or lamp or Titansmiths to get access to the main Dark World and get our boots to get our third sword upgrade from the library.
Yeah. Although I can see most of the runners foregoing picking up that third sword upgrade from the library until they're like just in the region of the library. Like when they're picking up Smith, for instance.
Well, with the mirror that Frostbite and Watch already got, I would see them and then go check it up before digging game.
Oh yeah, that's true. They could, yeah. So it looks like Solsky is deciding to dip into Eastern Palace here.
Yeah, we still haven't found that much, and I think outside of Eastern Palace we only have Agina left.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, since we had, I think it was Walsh doing the fake flippers, and there was nothing really of value in there. I'm not sure if they went to Zora. I do know they went to the waterfall pit though. And
looking at his rupees, it seems like he did that. He has 300 rupees less than everyone else.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it seems likely. So Eastern first chest not yielding much. That's one of the 3 items that are here in Eastern. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You have the bow. You may as well clear it. It's not that long of a dungeon either.
Yep, but you probably wouldn't go for the for the pendant if you don't if you get the 3 items in here before.
Let's see, now that we have completed the Walk of Shame, what the Spiral Cave holds for us.
PKR apparently also picked up her mirror. Will be able to go to the Tower of Hera now. So there is an item on the boss of Eastern Palace. We found map and compass already.
Yeah, there's going to be an item in the vanilla big key chest now, and one on the boss.
So apparently the item that we are looking for will be in Agnes Cave.
Yeah, if Eastern does... Oh, there's a map check.
Map check.
We have a green pendant in Pod, another pendant in TR, and the red crystal, I think it was in Maya.
Yep, I can confirm the Maya thing.
Interesting. So the last item here is an Armos Knights. So far, Eastern Palace also not paying off. The only other options we have here are going to be either Armos Knights or indeed Agina. Or Aghanim.
Well, Aghanim and Armos Knights are not in logic without the lamp, so it will probably be Agina that we need to check.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Agina Pro will have the lamp then. Yeah.
Well, Agna should have our Dark World access either way. If it's a lamp for Agnum, or a glove, or the hammer, either way, it should be Dark World access. Also, we did find a bottle doing the swimming. I don't think we saw Watch check it. Of course, not in logic, but it's another thing that we can check.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen a sick kit check either yet. And Morlorum goes down for Walsh here. Well, we're gonna see an Armos Knight fight here on Solski's side. Let's see what they have for us today, other than a pendant. Ah, Easton completely useless.
It could still be required for a pedestal.
That is a fair point, but it's not very likely. But as of our knowledge right now, Easton was a bust, and Trolldorm strikes again. PKR getting knocked down. Luckily, they have activated that crystal switch so they can access those many pots with hearts in them and get a bit of a refill before they attempt going for them Moldrum again. And Solski going to pick up their mirror as well. So.
Oh, the Eastern Palace hint was something nice from someone friendly. I think this could be just uncle or something like that.
Someone friendly is any NPC that directly gives you an item. So that includes Uncle, but it also is Sahasrarla for the Green Pendant. It's the Mini Moldrum NPC, the Hype Kit NPC. Zora counts as well. Grumpy, not a Grumpy, the Catfish. The Grumpy Fish is another hint. But yeah, the Catfish is also a friendly NPC. So, you know, characters like that, but say the Witch does not count because she doesn't get entirely give you the item. You have to go pick it up.
Okay, out of that list, I don't know if I would count King Zora friendly. He just is a capitalist.
Yeah. I mean, it's arguable if King Zora is friendly, but for the logic of the hint, he is. Right, so we're finally getting an Agina check here on Walsh's side. Let's see what it is. Is it our Dark Relaxes or is it the Lamb? And it's the hammer! And Walsh, frustration slashes at the chest because it's like one of the last checks he did. I think they only haven't bit this.
I think with not doing Eastern before that, he is pretty much in a better shape than everyone else, because I think everyone else will dip Eastern before that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, like, if you think about it, to go for Eastern first, because it's potentially 3 items. Actually, it is 3 items, because you can still, you know, clear it with the bow. Although, you know, the logic dictates that this would be out of sequence. But we know that Eastern Palace is a bust, so... Wow. Okay, so it's the hammer on Agina. That's just rude.
Yeah, and it looks like Watch directly goes towards the village of the outcast. Probably will dip into Seastown, grabbing himself some boots and be happy moving fast.
Yeah. Beeline for a Thief's Town probably. Will obviously pick up the checks that are like on the way there, like the chess game and maybe even Bombable Hut and such. But yeah, probably gonna go straight for Thief's Town right after.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to do the throwing checks first and then go into Seastown. Frostbite now heading for the escape. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and their first feast on play.
Piano as well heading for the Eastern Palace plane, which we will not pay out. And there are the bullets.
Right in the
They
first
didn't
chest.
even let us wait. Seems knew, hey, the guys want to run fast. Give them the boots.
Yeah, and there's the big key. That's the one guaranteed item we get out of here. Since the big key has to be in those first 4 chests. And we have 2 more item locations left. This is a crystal, so it's very likely we'll see a full clear of this dungeon.
Yes, especially since we do have the hammer and will not have no chance to leave any items behind.
Yeah. And of course there's a hint in here as well, which is actually very interesting because that hint made full clearing even Pendant Thief Stone a lot more attractive to a lot of runners I've seen.
I've seen a lot of people argue to full clear Thiefstone before that already, just because it's not taking that long.
Yeah, it is a fairly short dungeon, of course. Man, that eggplant sprite's just cracking me up. Right, so the Solsky making their way to pick up their hammer. Meanwhile, Walsh is using King of Burnout to get through this hellway, and I don't blame them. That is one of the most pain in the backside rooms in the game.
Yeah, I don't know who at Nintendo designed a few of those rooms, but I personally would like them to not design more rooms.
Yeah, those lizards, or whatever they're supposed to be, they do a lot of damage. Like, you wouldn't think about it, but they really do. And with green mail, it's not fun to take that much damage.
Yep. They should do 2 hearts of damage, and we only have 7 hearts. 5 hearts currently on watch, and that's not really many hits you can take.
Oh, Walsh opts to forgo picking up the hint there. Interesting.
Well, you would have to go back up and flip the switch again, and then again flip the switch at this point. I've seen a few runners only go for the hint if you got the key before the chest. I see some take the hint always before flipping the switch. That's a few different ways to do it.
Well, let's hope for Walsh that hint is not something very useful. It probably isn't, but, you know, you never know. So picks up the maiden here and finds the key.
Oh, shield, important.
Yeah. The baby stretch shield.
Piano also with the hammer, so only Frostbite needs to find it now.
I assume that PKR opted to not full clear Ethan and just did like the first few chests. That was a terrible pun, Blind. You should be ashamed of that one.
Taking the cane of burner for the last hits makes the fight much easier.
Indeed. It's rewarded with the map. Fantastic. Just what we needed, and the crystal.
Would guess Watch will now go towards the South Dark World, and I don't. He might. All right, Thicket. Thinking more than I do. That's not hard. And apparently there was the powder from Hobo. Frostbite just picked it up.
Ah, interesting. So the bat will be open for them.
Yeah, once they pick up that nice little hammer from Agina.
And Walsh here picking up their Master Sword.
Yep, Watch didn't pick up the sword from the mountain, I guess. Otherwise he would have tempered at this point.
Yeah, that is true. I think it was in Paradox.
No. Then he wouldn't have the bow. So he forgot Link's house?
Oh yeah, that could be. Yeah, that's true. It's true, yeah.
Yeah, I could see him never saving quit to Link's house at this point.
I mean, it's not something I would have expected, but that's true. That could be it, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a second way upgrade.
Alright, so we do know that Skull Woods has a unique item. So that is something to be aware of. I mean, it might just be the single arrow, but there are the Titan Smiths in there are the Titan Smiths in Bonk Rocks. So I assume there will be a Graveyard Ledge and Kingstomb check. Now that we have the Titan Smiths, we don't even have to we can do whatever we want with the Kingstomb here.
Yeah, you could either take the mirror portal back into the Dark World and go around, or decide, hey, I just pick up the rock. I personally would just probably take the mirror portal, not because I want, because I would forget.
I probably, depending on what my next goal would be, yeah. So, Walsh decides to open up the Kingstomb without using the mirror. Probably will save and quit somewhere else.
No, he will probably just float out back to Kakariko.
Or that, yeah. I'm just hoping they save and quit and get their bloody sword from Link's house, which, that's not a location I would have expected anyone to forego.
Frostbite apparently didn't like the hammer from Agina. Hammered that old man. He's so he has no defense. Why are you doing this to him? Sorsky just barely getting through the blind fight.
My area holds fast a bottle with the B and the cape, and I don't know if you've watched what Solsky has been doing, but they have they use the hammer instead of the Master Sword for some reason on blind.
Well, get that inverted practice in for that inevitable hammer blind 3 hearts.
That's true. That could be, yeah. Might as well. So Desert is not food slot. And we also learned that left side of Swamp also exists.
Yeah, the hints so far really nice to all runners, telling us, hey, don't go there, because that would be dumb.
And the bat has the silver arrows. So unless the other runners find the flippers and get led to Kakariko to pick up the bat, that might be a big advantage for Frostbite.
I could see some runners also go for don't find the normal powder before. Could also be a thing if we find the stuff.
Well, we still don't know where the King of Sumaria or the mushroom are, so. Well, yes, theoretically it's possible. Seems the powder is more more likely to be found. And Solsky picking up their Tempered Sword here.
Yep. 3 runners already done with Seastone, gotten their boots. I'm sure Frostbite will join them soon.
And Walsh making their way to Lunmolas, which with the Fire Rod shouldn't be much of a problem.
Yeah, Fire Rod, Master Sword. While Master Sword slashes do the same damage as any Fighter Sword attack, you will at least do more damage with spins.
Yeah.
A very unfortunate pattern from Lanmolas going out of the way of his shots will get through though, I'm quite sure. Ooh, and he got a unique item.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's that unique item the hint was talking about. It's the shovel. Would you like to do a fetch quest, Michael?
I already saw one, it got something good, I would roll another one.
Well, if the shovel might lead Walsh to check Link's house and get their sword. So once they manage to pick it up. But yeah.
Yeah, it would be definitely appreciated for our watch to fight. Hey, I've got that heard. Why didn't I pick that up like 30 minutes ago?
Yeah. Oh, and PKR gets trolled there by the Wallmaster, and this is probably one of my least favorite rooms in the game. Having to kite around those Gyptos while also dodging the Wallmaster and pushing the statue. Yeah.
Yeah, I just use Fire Rod on the Gyptos.
Yeah, with half magic I would do it too, but with just regular magic I probably would be a bit more conservative.
You can just pick up some magic in the front room there after killing the Gyptos, it's fine. There are small magic pots under the top left and top right pot in the room. And we got the lamp on watch side. Why do you pick it up?
Alright, so I think one of the items has to be here in the backside of Skull Woods now.
Well, Chet just asked about the glove. The first glove was in Blind Sideout, and the second glove that Walsh already found, that no other runner found, was in the Bonk Rocks.
Yeah. And of course, the hammer on Lagina's cave was... Yeah, that was... I think that made up for a troll last roll, didn't it?
No.
No? Okay.
And we got information from the hint trade in here that we don't need to check the purple chest. It's just some heart.
Oh, luckily for Walsh, skipping out on Link's house, not going to be a problem. They find not only their Tempered Sword, and now we know where all 4 swords are, by the way. Not only their Tempered Sword in Hive Cave, but also, of course, the second shield, very important, and the King of Sumaria from the NPC there.
Hey, a red cave.
Indeed. Not as red for the other runners, except maybe PKR and Frostbite. But at least Solsky, once they pick up the Hive Cave, will not be as red.
Well, Frostbite didn't pick up the spells from the library yet, so I guess they will pick that up. And I don't know if PK are missing the Link's House sword or the library sword at this point.
The library sword as well. They both of them have not gone to the southern part of Village of Outcasts yet, and I assume Frostbite probably will do that after Thief's Town.
And we just got our first coin for Walsh, and I think that was Quake, which we will need for Maya anyway.
Mhm.
Watch now being able to dig a lot and a lot.
And the reward is 20 rupees.
Hey, going on with the Steam of Red from Hype Cave.
Indeed, I assume that at this point PKR, and if Frostbite opts to not pick up the sword from the library as well, we'll probably skip that because they already have the tempered sword, and the upgrade between tempered and gold sword are not that significant.
Yeah, the only spot where it would actually shows about picking it up at this point would be, hey, I go around and check the smiths. Let me mirror here instead of the smittery and just pick up the sword.
Yeah. And Frostbite beating blind here. Meanwhile, Walsh is delivering the blacksmith as we were talking. Looks like there was nothing interesting on the permit ledge there. They are.
Yeah, just a bundle of bombs.
And we'll go for the catfish here. That is a check that a lot of runners try not to do, as it's very far out of the way, and I see plenty of runners just orphan it at some point. Let's see if there's anything useful in there.
Yeah, PKR, unfortunately, there's not the gloves. You can pick up the big, the black rocks.
Yeah, so we have to bump into the pile.
What grabs himself some love from the purple chest?
The single arrow on catfish.
Hey,
it is a unique item.
With a fish.
It is a unique item. Yeah, that's true. So, what do we still need in order to finish here? Let's see here. We know where the mitts are. We know where the silvers are as well.
We need the flippers for Swamp Palace.
Yeah, the flippers. And
that's it.
The potentially another medallion for Turtle Rock, and I think that's it.
Well, Turtle Rock is a pendant, so no, we only need flippers for go mode.
I totally missed that. Yeah, you're right. That's true. That's true. So yeah, flippers are our go mode item, which is a relief. However, that does mean that a lot of the runners will not get the silver arrows, which is gonna give Frostbite, as mentioned before, a pretty solid advantage because silver arrows make a lot of the bosses really fast, and of course Ganon, most importantly.
And with him probably picking up the golden sword as well, there will be not much bosses that will take any significant amount of time. He now only has a tablet, of course, but once he goes to Hype Cave, which he needs to do, he will get his golden sword.
Yeah. Looks like they're opting to go for Skullwood Strike, though.
Did we still haven't on PKR?
I'll decide to go somewhere else. Maybe the Bonk Rocks, Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb checks here, and the Bumper Ledge. Wait, what? What is Frostbite doing here? Oh, they went around because so they don't have to like go the yeah. Okay, I think you understand what the logic here was. I don't think it saved that much time though. They went around so because they don't have the nets, so they can't lift that block in that middle pathway. You would have had to go through that long line of bushes. Oh yeah, also the silver arrows kill Gyptos. That's true. So that wasn't trivial for Frostbite.
A lot of things can kill a few enemies if you remember that. Could also use Ether to make that room really trivial.
Well, they don't have it though, so. Oh, looks like
just conjured out of the thin air.
looks like Walsh found the lamp somewhere, as did Solsky. I completely missed where that was.
The lamp that was in Checkerboard Cave.
Oh, in Checkerboard Cave, right.
Now 4 crystals on Walsh. He's definitely far ahead with the crystal count.
Well, Solsky is very close behind as well, and decides to do the Ice Rod strat instead of Fire Rod strat. Oh, and swaps the Fire Rod there. Okay, so I think that was just a bit of swag there. Or maybe some practice for Ice Rod Lamolas.
Ice Rod Lamolas, no. I don't want to kill anything with Ice Rod. I don't even want to do Trinix with Ice Rod, but I have to.
I actually like the Ice Rod. I think it's a fun item. Just a shame that it's basically useless except for Trinix and maybe like Argus and Lamolas, I think, and otherwise it's not really.
Yeah, it's not a bad item. It does some damage to a lot of enemies, but at the same time, it's so slow before it shoots. You really feel that you can't have muscle memory from Fire Rod that transfers over to the Ice Rod.
So PKR is doing the Dark Maze here blind, and Walsh stocking up some potions, and Solsky clearing out the rest of the desert here. So lots of different things happening here at once. PKR doing the one thing that we haven't seen just yet, which is of course Pod. I don't think. Oh, they found the mushroom. They found the mushroom pod there. Okay.
Yeah, the Dark Maze didn't give us anything.
Yeah. But perhaps the mushroom might be of use. I assume they're gonna hold on to it in order to possibly fake powder.
Looks like Pika will go over to Hype Cave now, so they will find the
no.
Candy side.
The PKR already has the key. They already did Hype Cave.
Oh. Okay, then I missed that.
Yeah, it's not on the tracker, but yeah, I saw it just on the menu. They do have, and they also have Tempered Sword. And there's Quake for PKR.
Meanwhile, watch in the dungeon that requires a Quake medallion finds only Compass so far. Water from the earth, I wouldn't drink that.
It's red goo. It can be useful. And we're gonna see Hookshot Crave here on Solsky's side. See if that is something useful.
We found the big key. Let's hope that Watch doesn't go for the left side now. I don't think he will, because he saw the hint.
No. Yeah, I think they saw the hint. Nothing in Hookshot. And Frostbite about to pick up their mitts.
And PKR deciding, hey, Godshot is on my way. Let's pick it up.
Yeah, you may as well. It does save some time. There's still a few bosses to beat for them. So, and Gold Sword does make at least Cold Stare a lot more comfy. So, understandable.
Yeah, makes Coaster faster, makes Landrunners faster if you're uncomfortable with Fire Rod or Silver Threads. Makes, of course, I think Swampert gets a bit faster just by the virtue that you can just use 2 slashes on the boss in the second phase. If you wouldn't have the Bone Silvers, Maya of course also gets really trivial, just spin a bit and the eyes are gone instantly, even without spins actually, just slash.
Right, so PTR making their way to what looks like to be the Graveyard and Keystone checks here. Question still is, where are those darn flippers? They can be anywhere except for in Ice Palace or Small Palace.
Well, that's at least one guarantee we got. Go mode Swamp Palace, go mode Ice Palace.
Yeah, that is at least that's a relief, if nothing else. So Walsh here on Vitreous decides to go for the bow. I think it's 8 arrows, regular arrows for the main eyeball.
8 arrows on the main eyeball. I think you can do a bit damage with spins in the first phase, but you usually don't want to stand in there.
It looks like Solsky has been setting up the spooky action glitch there, given how they went into the portal from the bottom.
Yeah, they now only need to actually remember to activate it in Maya.
And Pig Kitty Rose getting their mix here.
Yeah. Now everyone has the mitts.
So in pure crystal count, Walsh is currently ahead a bit. And Solsky pretty much on their heels. I think if Solsky hadn't full cleared Eastern, they probably would be much closer here. But it's still fairly close.
I would say it's pretty much really just Eastern Palace there as a difference.
Yeah, pretty much. And Walsh decides to, since Meyer and Desert were the red crystals, also very, very conveniently grouped together there. Going to try and see what the Pet Fairy has for us today.
Do you know that the flippers could be on pedestal?
That is true, the flippers can be on pedestal, yeah. Or an item leading to them, at least. And the last shield here in the waterfall, no, not the waterfall, the Pyramid Fairy Cave.
Watch now deciding, hey, let's go into escape. Hey, Watch. I'm sorry, but escape doesn't have stuff.
Yeah. And Frostbite clearing out La Molas here, picking up the 4th crystal. I assume they probably are gonna go for Mire next as well. It would make a lot of sense to do so. PKR, meanwhile, is starting with Mire and is probably gonna mirror over to Desert afterwards. So both of these runners are actually pretty close together, I would say.
But what do you think will our runners do after after they are done with the stuff they are doing right now, with either getting the 2 crystals or, in Wall's case, beating the escape?
Well, I mean, the flippers can be virtually anywhere. We've seen most of the remaining locations here. We know that Pod, I don't think we've seen Helmasaur King, but the rest of Pod was a bust. So TR is starting to shape up to be the place.
As for Pets of Darkness, I think PKR mirrored out before opening the big chest, so I think she didn't found any map or compass, so that should be no item left on Helmasaur.
Right. I didn't closely follow, but that would make a lot of sense. They could, yeah, it's true. They could have just cleared out Pod if there was anything else left there. So yeah, it would seem very likely that TR is the play.
Yeah. Frostbite, you're not saying, no, I don't want TR to be the play, I want Palace of Darkness to be the play. You're wrong.
Ooh, and the PKR will have to be very careful here. Is down to 1 heart, and dying here can be quite costly because you have to go through the entire front section again. Oh, but there's a red goo. No worries.
Luckily, didn't drink the potion directly on the frame by hitting the door transition. That could be bad.
Oh, that's why Frostbite stopped. They didn't go to Hype Cave yet, so they don't have King of Sumaria. That's why they went out.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate.
Missing on a location like Hype Cave for a very long time is not good set easily. Many people joke around it's not worth it at all because there's always just money in there, but sometimes there's something more important in there, like the Red Cane.
Yeah. And indeed, Walsh is making the play into Top Rock here. I don't think we've seen the medal yet for it, and it's hardly Quake. So
I think at least one of our runners already checked it because our lovely trackers were able to see that. By the way, our lovely trackers are Doku Horror and Literary Jin. Give them some love in the chat.
Yeah, without our trackers, we will be completely lost. So thank you very much. Looks like Walsh is not going inside of TR just yet, and apparently they haven't cleared out Darkness Mountain yet. Makes sense to do that before dipping into especially 10 and TR, since that is another, what is it, 6 atoms? Yeah. Could be the, and at this point Walsh is probably aware that flippers are their go mode items, so
well, I hope they don't. I hope they don't look for the book as well to search for the desert entry because they already cleared that.
Yes, chat. Flippers can be on the pedestal, but obviously you'd rather not. So here we have a useless hint. Thank you very much, Shove Rock. You can tell that the hints with the green text always are nonsense.
Yeah, and also as of the latest small revision of version 30.3, there's a little link face at the end of those texts, so you know You know the joke is real.
Right, and Solsky making their way to Catfish will be rewarded with a single arrow shortly. Probably not going to be happy about that.
Hey, I'm sure they are looking for a unique item.
Right.
Starting the rage slashes even before he even knows what the thing is.
Seems like Solsky never made the play for Zora, so they're gonna check what is on offer there. We'll know that the ledge can't have anything useful. And get trolled there by that little walkway.
Yeah, that small area in the water is really hard to pass over.
Yeah. Looks like Frostbite opts to complete pot here. Maybe in the hopes that the green pendant has something of value, or maybe even gambling for the pot here. Not the pot, the pad here. Sorry. And luckily for Walsh here, they have the mirror shield, so they don't have to worry about laser bridge at all. They can just walk around in there.
Well, you don't have to worry about it. You still could forget that you even got that mirror shield and still do your laser scripts like normal. I don't know anything about that. I don't do that every race I got the mirror shield.
I actually don't like the mirror shield because the sprite is so big that it covers Link's shadow, and I use that to line up my bomb jumps. So I don't like it. And looks like we're gonna get a spike cape check here on Solsky's side, which is also something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, a good thing that they remember that location exists, because I certainly don't think that I checked this location in like 2 months or so.
There's bombos, which you don't need. Looks like Solsky decided to walk back out, I assume, in order to avoid having to climb that mountain again.
He will activate his spin speed and activate his kind of burner and just run through really speedy, and unfortunately doesn't make it perfectly, but if you make it, it looks clean.
Well, it's just one hit. That's acceptable losses here. Frostbite, meanwhile, picks up their green pendant. Helmosaur had the map. We'll probably walk over to Sahasrara, hand in that pendant, and see if Sahasrara actually has the flipper. Of course, Frostbite still is looking for the Cane of Sumaria as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Walsh checked a lot of chests in Todoric already, and not so much by now.
And Sahasrara had something blue, but it wasn't the flippers. It was the blue boomerang. Sahasrara, for that gift, was rewarded with a single slash of frustration.
Well, let's see if the mushroom from Path of Darkness gives more luck.
Just the bottle.
Hey, we are right here to fill it.
Yeah, may as well pick it up and put some potions in there. We have so much money. So looks like the flippers pretty much can only be on pedestal or laser bridge at this point. Or on Trinex, of course.
Well,
I think we
could also have the book on pedestal.
That is true, yeah. Of course, any item that could lead to the flippers, but such as the book. But yeah, speaking of the book, yikes. Well, It could be an ether tablet on Bomble's tablet or on the pedestal, of course.
Hey, it's not on Laser Bridge.
It is indeed not on Laser Bridge, so that means either Trinix has it or it's behind the book. Luckily, at least ether tablet is not too far away from where we are right now, so one of those two book-required checks is out of the way at that point.
Yeah. Frostbite finally remembers, hey, there's this one location that's just never hype.
And bombs the NPC.
Hey, I heard you like bombs.
That poor friendly NPC. Oh, and Solsky decides to try and hover, practicing, I assume, because they have to be King of Samaria equipped. So,
Hey.
and
wow. Great hand.
Managed to almost get across the pit there with hovering. That was actually pretty cool.
Hey, I know Solsky already made the gap for Trinix itself look like a small gap. Which unfortunately wasn't able to get the spin correctly on Trinix. Still manages to go through quite well.
Yeah, the second phase isn't too bad. And there's bombs on the Bloody Trinix, which means that it's either on the pedestal or on the book at this point.
Hey, with the book we can check the pedestal.
That is true. What's also to note here is we didn't have a troll ice rod, but we're having troll flippers. So in a way, you're getting your wish. It's blue. It's annoying.
It has something to do with water, I guess.
Yeah. It's a good second choice here for a troll item.
Yeah, but it could have been on Trinix, so it's bad.
Alright, so what does the Eva tablet hold for us today? And it's a hard container. It's either on Bomble's tablet or Pet at this point. Let's see where Walsh is going to go first. Are they going to check the Bomble's tablet?
Looks like they are going to check the pedestal first.
Oh, that makes sense. If you start having this creeping feeling that with all these items that you've gotten so far, pedestal is starting to look likely, and there's not a lot of locations left, right? So may as well look.
I think Watch didn't do Eastern Palace or Palace of Darkness, so they still have a few locations. They just want to know. Oh, some Palace. I like to see.
So, Michael K, fancy a swim?
Yeah, sure.
That is right. So that is very painful for our runners here. I mean, in a way.
Well, you say it's painful for our runners. The most pain is for PKR for full clearing, but not going for the bosses of Easter Palace and Palace of Darkness.
That is true. Those dips. So PKR will have to double tip both Pod and Eastern for the penance needed for the pedestal, which is very painful. At least now we have this knowledge. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, and if you are wondering why you are needing flippers, we can just fake flipper. Not Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace doesn't want to be fake flippered. If you would fake flipper in Swamp Palace, you would just land on the lower layer under the water, not swimming on top of it, being able to go up the stairs.
Looks like Solsky died there to refill their health, maybe?
Yeah, after the first hover attempt, he was 1 hour. I don't think he wanted to extend his death reps there. But so he's showing us, hey, if you hammer dash out of a cave, you keep hammer dashing out of the cave. But you little note that you don't have real control. You need to reactivate the hammer to regain control, otherwise you just hammer dash forever until you had anything that's really, well, either an entrance or a transition to the Dark World.
Of course, what is to note here, now that Frostbite has found the King of Sumaria, they actually have well, I wouldn't say commanding lead, but they definitely have an advantage here. They have an advantage here because they already cleared Pod and Eastern. So once they clear Maya, they probably will also realize, hey, Trouble Rock's the play. Find their book, and then they will be the first to have all 3 pendants. Or well, Walsh might actually be faster now I think about it.
Yeah, Walsh will be 4. I would probably put Solsky and Frostbite together on the same position. For Solsky must clear out Path of Darkness. Frostbite just clear out Maya and Totorock after that.
Yeah,
should be about the same.
And Frostbite only needs to go to the back path there because they did do Mire, I think. Oh no, they didn't. All right, my bad. I thought they already dipped Mire and plus they didn't have Sumaria. Went out, but
I think they also took some time till they found the Quake Medallion, so makes sense that they found that shortly before or after the Sumaria.
Yeah. Right. So with the book, PKR immediately beelines for the pedestal, and not even bothering to check the ether tablet there.
That makes sense for her, especially since she didn't pick up the pendants. Now she will know. Oh, I did a dumb.
Yeah. Well, no. Oops, that was a boo boo. Shoulda stuck with it and picked up those pendants.
Yeah, but what was the chance? It's like one location out of 216 that could have one out of your items. That's not likely, right?
Right. So Walsh probably will forego picking up most of the chests here because they know they just need to pick up the pendants and then they're in go mode.
Yeah, they could still find the goods, but we know for that goods that he would have to save him critical link shows.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, there's also, of course, the silver arrows, which we know are on the magic bat, which we know are, logically speaking, at least behind the hobo, which of course is behind flippers. So, if we were playing in logic, then the silvers would be after go mode, and none of the runners will go out of their way to check hobo at this point because they know flippers is their go mode item.
But I hope that the people know that the flippers are their go mode item and not still waiting for the bugnet, which I wish we find at this point.
Right, so looks like Solsky decides to actually go for the Bombos tablet first instead of checking the pad.
Yes, that will cost him some time. But if the flippers would be on the Bombos tablet and not on the pedestal, he would be directly there for Swamp. So cutting some corners will not parrot this time.
I think that Walsh is just like, smelling what was going on and was like, that can't be, right? And then went and checked and there it is. So
Yeah, well, Watch did check a lot of Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness. I think he never even looked into those dungeons before, so makes sense for him to find out, do I need to check all those 500 million locations, or can I just go for the boss?
yeah. And looks like Solsky decides to just straight up dip Pod, not even checking the pedestal here. You know, it makes sense.
Yep.
Pot has, like, combined with the green pendant, Pot has 5 items. So it makes a lot of sense to dip this without knowing that the flippers are on pedestal.
Yeah, but this is still unfortunate with him not checking the pedestal. This will mean he will not go for the boss first. He will go for the boss last.
Yeah, it's very likely that Solsky is going to full clear Pot here, which will cost him not too much time, but still a minute or so. You know, Walsh knows I have to pick key. I don't need any other items. So they're probably going to pick up the big chest in the hopes to find the silvers in this chest here as well, which we know will not have the silvers. And yeah. Team forgoes the hint there.
Oh, you don't want to know that you don't need to open the I think it was the hint for the purple chest in that one.
That could be. Mulch even skips the big chest. It's too much of a detour for them. I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah. Yeah, silvers only save so much time, and if you have to do the detour of 10 seconds to get them, not worth it.
Yeah, plus, of course, most of the bosses that would benefit having silvers, like Vitreous and Helmets, are already down on Walsh's side, so...
Yeah, the only boss that still benefits from them would be Armored Knights, and it's like 2 seconds of difference, I think.
Yeah.
So not really a difference at all.
And of course Ganon, but yeah.
What? You can Silver Arrow Ganon? That's new.
And Armo's Knights go down here on Walsh's side. Immediately equip the flute. Know that the green pendant can't have what they are looking for, and go straight to the Lost Woods and pull their flippers out of the pedestal. What kind of civilization, or like what kind of people do you think would put flippers into a pedestal?
Hey, it's some holy flippers. They are really, they are really special. They could just be easily used to slap the pig into the face and beat it in one hit. But we are too civilized for that. We need to wear them at our feet.
The flippers of the goddesses here. All right, so Walsh just boomerangs the pedestal there, just out of spite, and pulls their flippers.
Just stun that pedestal and make sure it doesn't run away.
Those flippers were so elusive the entire run. You may as well make sure they're staying there. Right, so at 1 hour 19 minutes, Walsh is in go mode and straight goes for Asgard. And of course, having go mode Swamp and Ice Palace is really comfy. So having flippers as go mode item is probably one of the comfiest runs if there's a Crystal Swamp and Ice.
Yeah, just instantly know that you don't need to pick up any chests outside of the first one in Swamp Palace. Don't need to pick up any single chest in Ice Palace. Just go ahead and clear them. Chat asked where silver arrows were, and the silver arrows were on the magic bed, with the powder
Indeed.
being on Hobo, the mushroom being somewhere on Palace of Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically the silver arrows are locked behind our go mode item for this seed. And as it turns out, nobody fake flippered except for Frostbite. So
Well, I think Watch fake flipper as well, but didn't check Hobo.
yeah,
So-
fake flipper to Hobo. Yeah, nobody fake flipper to Hobo other than Frostbite. That's right. And Pinky.
Should bring up a nice idea. So we could fake powder before shaking the pedestal.
That is true. Will they though?
I could see them saying, "Hey, it's just a powder on pedestal, and that leads to the servers, leads to the flippers on Magic Bed, or something like that."
Hmm.
Game is weird. And yes, he didn't check pedestal, otherwise he wouldn't check every chest on his way.
Yeah. The only PKR and Walsh so far have checked the ped. Frostbite hasn't checked the ped, but will full clear their last pendant dungeon anyway, so it's not going to be.
I don't think Frostbite will check the pad. I think he will just pull it.
Yeah. Frostbite probably will just blind pull it at this point.
Okay, Frostbite there had some troubles with that one mimic and made sure it's dead. Gave him a few additional slashes after the kill. Nothing special.
Alright, so Walsh is on Cold Stare. Meanwhile, PKR is making their way through Swamp Palace here.
Yeah, two different routes for the and also the seed. One going for Ice Splash first, the other one for Swamp Palace. I personally would go for the Swamp Palace first route because you could afterwards just swim over to Ice Palace.
Yeah. And maybe PKR has seen the blue mail on the island, so maybe, yeah. I think they've seen it.
That's also a thing to consider, but at the same time, we are in go mode and you might not want to waste 5 seconds after a seed access.
I don't know, like, so far we haven't found that much health. We have 12 hearts. Green mail still. I don't know.
12 hearts, 9 more than you need.
12 hearts are 11 more than one needs.
Nah. You only need a quarter heart.
Alright, so and PKR taking down Argus here. Frostbite finds their buck. Let's hope they full clear. And yeah, okay. Looks like it.
Yeah, I would be kind of wondering why they wouldn't clear at this point.
Yeah. Solsky, I think blind pull here, gets the flippers, is in go mode at 1 hour 24 minutes straight.
Solsky targets at hold. You don't need to go through against the wall 3 times.
And goes straight for Ice Palace as well here.
Kya, meanwhile, finished Swamp Palace, is now on their way to finish Ice Palace, which will be also quite a quick dungeon.
Yeah, go moding Ice and Swamp is a lot faster than Cold.
Yep.
And we actually have some somewhat of a sync here, as Solsky also is in Ice Palace right now. Just the room behind PKR. But of course, PKR also has cleared Swamp first, so...
Frostbite is a bit behind with him just now getting his third pennant in a few moments, but You will not need to check out Palace of Darkness or Eastern Palace anymore because you already did. So
Yeah.
that's nice for him.
So despite the intense trolling off the seat here, it's still fairly close. The runners are all a few minutes between each other.
PKR just did a nice little enemy threat there. Damage boosting off of one of the spikes on the right side of the screen to align themselves with the spikes in the middle to dash through. It's nice threats, really hard to execute, and Solsky trying to hover this through. No, Solsky, don't. Solsky, I was hoping for that hover.
Maybe we'll get a Moldorm hover.
Well, we already got hover through almost the front part of Rock, and we saw him hover the big shots of Rock, so maybe he feels good about it. Finding half magic in Ice Palace.
I assume that I assume Solsky still looking maybe for either a mail upgrade or the silver arrows. And finds the half magic there, which is very useful, especially right before Cold Stare.
Yeah, he also is one of our two runners that found the bomber tablet, so he could use that if he wants to save even more magic. Stotsky, don't tease me.
And that was a very fast Cold Stare, yeah. Trapped the Puff Stare in the corner and just a few slashes with the Gold Sword, and down he goes. And with that, Solsky acquires their 6th crystal. And looks like PKR is the first to actually start the ascent on that mountain here. So we're gonna have to be really quick here.
Yeah, give us some numbers in chat.
Indeed, we have the Ganon's Tower Big Key game. There are 22 locations where Ganon's Tower Big Key can be. So we like to guess a number between 1 and 22. See where the big keys. We don't have the bot for the dailies here, but we're still gonna guess for fun. So where do you think is the big key gonna be?
I'm thinking about the 3 with PKR doing some really weird strats, checking Hope Room into Tile Room.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tile Room as well, because of this pedestal flipper. But since you already are saying Tile Room, I'm gonna say Bob's Chest, because I like Bob.
Okay, that sounds like 2 completely different chests. One of us might be correct.
Yeah, it's just as likely neither of us is going to be correct either.
I think it's more likely that neither of us is correct.
Yeah.
And my prediction on this thread was not correct. And we got the chest, the check 1, bombs on the torch, not going to get that. Bob lives.
Right, so this is Oh, there it is.
It is. Chest 4.
Indeed. And the Bugnet.
Oh, Bugnet.
The single most important item in the game.
Yeah, now we can finally finish this game. Finally go mode.
Indeed. So we have key number 4. None of us was correct.
Well, I guess with my 3 I was at least close to it. Not hit it, but at least close. Because only having 2 arrows left, we'll pick some arrow pots up. But without silvers, they can use them on Garen anyway, so will not be that big of a problem.
Yeah. May as well utilize them regardless of ammo count. Right, so Walsh decides to go for the right side first here.
I just checked a bit through the chat, and it looks like we even had a winner for the game. Wait, you were guessed so far.
So here are Lamolos to here.
Yeah, just 2 slashes, 2 firewall shots, 2 spins, or 4 pokes if you want to do juice. Why would you want to do juice? It's quite easy to do if you got gold sword. Watch, pick it up. Yes, good boy. Go mode.
Alright, so we're coming up on Mulderm 2 here. Just this bomb of a wall and this room here. Bit of a refill room. If you have the powder, you can powder those the anti-fire and the bunny beam there for some good healthy refill. And we're on to Mulderm.
You, of course, can also just say, hey, I've got a cane, I've got a mushroom, I can use those to get some powder.
Yeah, that's true. You could. But it would also be wasting time because you have to drain all your magic first, so...
Well, you just did 2 rooms where you used 8 fire shots if you planned out for that, so you're fine.
And PKR, the first to get to Aghanim 2 here. Let's see here. Was it a double or a single? I'm not sure there.
I think it was a single. They seemed very close to each other.
Yeah, it was a single. Because we had a double here in the last phase here. And no, PKR did not have the lamp. They did not go to check it.
Yeah, I am sure PKR knows what they are doing, but magic magic is a situation if you are using fire rod and don't have too much potions.
We got the deja vu quote on Ganon, and that one is probably the most heartbreaking if you actually die or fall to him. Let's hope that actually doesn't happen to any of our runners here. And PKR with the NMG dash strats there.
Equipping the fire rod knowing, hey, I need to use that thing, I guess.
And meanwhile, in the bottom left corner here, Frostbite, the last one to pick up their final crystal. Still very respectable time though, 1 hour 35 minutes for a pedestal seed. You know, certainly.
That's really quite fast.
And of course, except for Frostbite, all of the runners are going to have a silver less again, and which luckily with Gold Sword is not going to be Tempered Gold Sword is not going to be too bad. So you know,
Pika getting a good spots silverless slash in there. Very well done. There we go. Ganon is down. Don't fall off the bridge, and you're fine.
And GG to PKR here. At finishing first here on the restream.
And first in the overall race, 1 hour 36 minutes and 43 seconds on the timer.
And GG to PKR. Yeah, you better be sorry, Seed.
But the princess is another castle. Damn it, another.
But the flippers are... Well, fittingly enough, given the fact PKR is using a Tourette sprite here, and looks like we're gonna have them here in our Discord momentarily for an interview, while Walsh is starting their Arcanime 2.
Hello, PKR, GG.
Oh man, what is there to even say about being an incomplete monkey and it totally being fine?
You were the only one of our restreamers that didn't hit a pendant done when they got the knowledge of the flippers. You still was able to get the first place in this race, so very well done.
Thanks. It was one of those things where I was feeling so bad about last locationing the hammer and then basically last locationing the mitts that I was just in full flail mode. Like, I was like, okay, I desperately need something to work out here or we are doomed. And then when I got the book was as my only reward from Tour Rock, it's just like, there is only one thing that can save me now.
Yeah, this was a very interesting seed. But one thing, would you like to know where the silver arrows were exactly?
They said the light world. So was it?
It was the magic. It was the magic bat, and the hobo had the powder.
Oh, so if I actually bothered to fake powder with that mushroom I got, it would have equated in time. Wouldn't have done much, but it would have been equal.
Yeah, it's still interesting that this time the Silvers were actually behind the Gomon item.
Oh,
yeah,
Sotsky doing a hover.
Sometimes.
See, he is a crop pleaser after all.
Oh, this one doesn't even feel deserved. I'm just being dumb. I didn't mark my boots on the tracker, so I didn't even think to go up and do bulk rocks because I'm still half asleep.
Well, worked out in the end.
Yeah, I think the most heartbreaking part about that is that you actually opted to not full clear the pendant dungeons you dipped into, other than TR, and then it turned out the pedestal was required after all. That was.
Yeah, it's like had I just done Tuna Rock before either of those other two, and then checked Pen, and I could have gotten to Go Mode, Eastern, and Paw. Where was the lamp, by the way?
Checkerboard.
Checkerboard.
Walked right by it. Okay.
Yeah.
I realized I was stepping into a pit of hot coals when I was sequence breaking all 3 lamp lock dungeons. It's just like, okay, look, I really need the lamp to just be somewhere accessible and not be behind the flippers, because otherwise I am wasting phenomenal amounts of time right now. Oh.
And Solsky here, showing off with a stream, hovering over the hole in Ganon's pyramid here.
Yeah, you sometimes just need to show off a bit.
I can't do that. He can do it though. Ah. I've tried. I'm still bad at it. Really bad.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time before you start seeing something work out, and even then it doesn't work out.
And Walsh takes down Ganon here, the second one to finish on the restream. GG.
Yeah, while he is the second one to finish on the restream, he is not the second in the race, he's the third. Yet, yeah, terrific, finishing in second place at 1:40 and 10 seconds. And Walsh just finished in 1:41 and 52 seconds. Not stopping his timer, so it's not real. He's still running.
Alright, let's see if we maybe can get RD Walsh in here as well. Meanwhile, Solsky is on Ganon in the last phase as well. Might actually get both of them in here. Shortly within each other. So, PKR, that Kakariko was stacked, wasn't it?
That was rather nice. It's like every time I see Flute and Kakariko, it's just like, oh hey, I went here first. Nice. Now let's ignore the 2 far corners of the overworld for the next 20 minutes. Oh, whoops. Come here and Hammer, that was unfortunate.
And Solsky finishing Ganon up here will shortly go across the bridge and be the third on the restream to finish here. And looks like Walsh is joining us as well.
Yep, Solsky being the fourth finisher in the entire race.
Man, my execution was so bad.
GG Walsh.
GG Walsh.
Yo, thank you. Yeah, that was kind of a fun pedestal seed, kinda, almost.
Almost.
Well, it was fun to watch. I loved the pedestal seed. Save the seed after that all the ice fraud.
That was very entertaining actually, because in the end it was just between Bobble's tablet and the pedestal, because between all the runners we knew every other location at that point, and then we saw Fancy a swim, and yeah, we were pretty excited.
I can only imagine what chat was like when I started running towards that.
Well, Walsh checked it before you, so we already knew that.
Yeah.
Ah, sadness.
Yeah, you were not the first to pull the pedestal. And Frostbite on the Ganon fight here is in the third phase already. Luckily for them, they found the silver arrows, so they can finish Ganon a bit swifter.
So where in the light world did the silvers end up being? Because I would have liked those.
Bad.
I actually, Walsh, I have something else for you. Did you know that you never actually checked the chest in Link's house?
Oh, I never got to Link's house, no, because I got the flute super early, so I just never. Oh God.
Yeah, good suggestions there.
That is, yeah, that you and that was where the fourth sword would have been. Yeah, that was a bit interesting. And the silvers, to answer your question, they were on the magic bat, and the powder was on Hobo.
Frostbite finishing in fourth place on the restream and first place overall.
GG here to Frostbite as well. And yeah, that's all of our restream runners here having finished. Let's see if we can get Frostbite here in a little chat. So Walsh and PKR as well. As you read the quote on the pedestal, what went through your head? Because I really want to know.
Well, I actually clapped my hands together loudly and exclaimed, "Yes!" Because, you know, getting bailed the heck out when you've made so many bad choices.
Same. I did Turtle Rock, so yeah, like I did Turtle Rock before like Pond Eastern, so like I was just like, okay, either I just wasted a lot of time or this actually worked out pretty well.
I had already done all three. I just hadn't actually gotten and killed Helmstar King and Armos Dice yet.
Yeah, PKR decided to just dip the dungeons. So for PKR, it was double dipping Pod and Eastern.
But it ended up being okay. All this comes off the back of forgetting to mark my boots and thus sleepily just forgetting that I can just go do Malcrocs.
Yeah, it was some very interesting locations about as well. Needless to say, Lamp and Checkerboard Cave, Hammer on Agina's Cave, which I think was practically the last check on everybody who was on the restream.
Oh good, it wasn't just me.
Yeah. I was actually somewhat concerned that somebody would do Aghanim in the thought that, nah, Hammer can't be an Agina, right? Has to be, we have to beat Aghanim this time around. And luckily nobody did, but yeah. That Hammer, that Agina, man.
It's so sad. Normally with the flute, I'll check Icebound Cave and Agina very quickly, but decided not to this time when they both had progression.
So looks like Frostbite is joining us here momentarily as well.
GG Frostbite.
GG.
There, unmute myself. Thank you, GG to everyone else who finished in front of me and those who will finish behind me, which is good in this race. I like it when that happens. No, it was that was a weird one for me. I guess let me just ask you. I know Michael, you know probably more about the overworld glitches than I do. What did I activate when I used my mirror on that screen transition when I was trying to pick up my tempered sword? Because that definitely cost me the place to soul ski. I'm not sure what else it would have cost me because it could have routed differently after that because I was super tilted.
I actually didn't catch that, but if you activated a mirror on the same frame, you go over a mirror transition. You activated a mirror transition, and that's not good. And if you would afterwards go back over the transition, you would get screen scrolls. It's not that good.
Yeah, I just saved quick. So what happened was I was trying to go pick up the tempered sword, so I had the mirror out in Village of Outcasts, and I used it right on the screen transition because I wasn't thinking, and I ended up clipped into the roof of the Aero game hut, I think, is where I ended up, and I just saved quit really quickly. I wish it wasn't like a race where I was being streamed, because I just would have like forfeited and ran around and had fun with it at that point. But no, that was it was interesting, and then I was super frustrated after that, which kind of actually might have helped me, because then it made me dive the pendant dungeons, which ended up leading to Ped, which was good in the end. So
Yeah.
That's kind of how things went for me. It's like went full monkey and it ended up being fine.
yeah. Yeah, it
So,
was like I skipped C-shape house, I skipped the Smith chain, I skipped dig game, I skipped basically every check of the overworld I could. As soon as I got transition, I was like, oh, I can go into another pendant dungeon. That's the right play.
So
Well, and then it was.
interestingly, well, what's also Galaxy Brain, while we're on it, you were the only restream runner who actually fake flippered to Hobo and ended up picking up the silvers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think, well, I mean, I fake flippered because I had Zora and I had Agina, and I figured, well, if I'm going to check Zora, I might as well just, I have the Moon Pearl, I have $1 million, because I had 500 rupees under 2 minutes into the game. Like, I might as well do all those checks at once, and yeah, that did work out. I forgot where they were, to be honest with you. I'm terrible at that. As soon as I get something, it's like it's gone out of my brain, and
Yeah, I know that I don't remember the things I get from sequence breaks, and so end up checking for half an hour stuff that I know I should not check.
oh yeah.
So I asked the others as well, but I'm gonna ask you as well. What went through your head when you? I'm not sure if you checked the pedestal or blindfolded it, but when you saw flippers were on pedestal.
I blind pulled it. Honestly, I was kind of getting a sense of Ped because I wasn't finding anything, and I mean, I guess it could have been in one of the 20 world overworld spots. I wasn't actually that surprised. I was I consciously made the decision to go to TR. I was a little bit like less tilted, I guess, at that point, because my gameplay was actually half decent today for once. But I just figured like TR is there's 5+ Mimic plus Ped, and I have about 7 or 10 overworld checks, and if it's in one of those overworld checks like C-shaped house, like I'm screwed, right? So I might as well go and do the thing that works out the best for me if it ends up being that case, and it did in this case. Because I mean, if it had been like in like the hammer pegs or C-shaped house, I would have finished last in this race probably. So.
So yeah, that hammer on Akina also, right?
Oh, I was not. Yeah, I think I let my opinion of Agina show after that. Oh man, last location in the hammer, that feels terrible.
That old man in that cave was so undefensiveless.
I also liked how you put the bomb on the Hype Cave NPC.
What did he had? So I checked Hype Cave at like an hour and a half. He had Kane, right? I think it was. Yeah. Oh, that didn't feel good. I was so mad at Agina, I actually switched to the hammer and then ran up and hit him a few times with it.
Yeah, we saw that. That was very entertaining.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a very understandable reaction, really.
Oh, it was super fun seed though. I like these trolley seeds, and yeah, I don't know. I felt really good. I loved the opening. I had everything. It seemed right away. It was a really fun seed. I like them when I'm not worried about dying all the time, especially since we're all practicing for these tournaments that are going on, and people are doing these stupid modes in hard mode and inverted hard swordless, and it's like I feel like I'm one hit from dying every single time I play recently, and this was a fun one because I didn't really feel that way that often, except in Ganon's Tower because my execution was horrific. But other than that, I had 100 potions by then, so it wasn't really a problem.
Yeah. So, oh, go on.
Oh, no, I was gonna say I just feel it on there because like I tried to do like I'm trying to wean myself off of like using the sword to kind of balance myself out when I fight Helmasaur, and I end with 1 heart in like an unnecessary like Monka S fight. So yeah, I kind of get the practice there.
Yeah,
we had a few one-hot.
I've seen. I think it was Solsky also did apparently some practicing for various bosses with like they did Hammer blind, although they had the sword, and I think Ice Rod on Lamolas. So yeah, I mean, I guess good opportunity to like get some practice in with some of the more obscure weapons. But yeah,
what was PKR's collection rate? I want, because this is always the thing. I'll probably have checked 10 fewer spots than her, and she still beats me by 7 or 8 minutes.
PKR has 145.
Oh,
Yeah.
she beat me this
The
time. Okay,
lowest
that's awesome. That's a
rate
really good in this
500
one.
This restream.
That's really good. I thought I had 150. I thought that was pretty good in this one, but yeah.
Yeah, like
I got
between you all, it's just like 10 items between all of the restream runners, somewhere between 145 and 154. So
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, most of the runners ended up going for like basically last checks on essentially in the hammer and as well as of course the pedestal. So you know.
Well, pretty much only big difference was probably I think Watch didn't full cleared Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace, so that was the only real difference in collection.
The rare Go mode pendant Eastern. Heck yeah.
Oh, one also while we were talking about this clearing, there was the freezer room in Ice Palace, above the big chest, and that one had half magic in it, and I think it was Solsky picked that up.
Oh man! All of my sadness. Didn't
I know,
end up
it's the
mattering,
one
but all of
chest
my
you
sadness
might
anyways.
actually pick up, right?
Yeah,
I lost more time picking up the full magic at the top of GT than I would by getting that half magic.
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, it's a lot of really interesting locations for various items here in this seed. I must say, the only item between all of the runners we haven't seen is Ether. So
Yeah.
right, so I would say we're about done here, unless any of the runners here would like to make any sort of last comment.
I guess I'd just say, well, thanks to you guys for commentating, Red and Michael, and GG again to the runners, and thanks to the restreamers and all the people behind the scenes that keep this community running, because it's super fun.
Any other last words?
I didn't deserve this one whatsoever!
Okay, then thanks to Literary Jen and Doku Horror for tracking for us, so we could say actually what people found, and we didn't have to pay much attention. We of course paid attention, believe me.
Yeah, and
Also big thanks.
oh, go on.
Well, also big thanks to all the runners that we had on the restream. It's not just relaxing if you actually have to show your skill to an audience, and because people will actually watch you. But also thanks to all the other runners in this race. We had not only the 4 runners you saw here, we had 10 more runners that slowly getting the finishing times in. Of course, thanks to the Speed Gaming network for doing the restream of those daily racers, and a big thanks to Red Rayma for commentating with me.
Thank you as well for joining me in the commentary booth today. Right.
And
So, and as well, of course, thank you everybody who's watching. Without you, we couldn't do what we're doing. So, I think that's about it for us for now. Let me take a quick peek onto the schedule and see if there's anything cool coming up here. So we have already started, sadly. several tournament matches in the fall tournament. The one that has started just about 30 minutes ago is the one on Speed Gaming 4. So if you want more randomizer, head over there. Otherwise, on Speed Gaming 3, so right here, there's going to be a Donkey Kong Country All Stages tournament, which is also going to be very exciting. And on Speed Gaming 2, a Portal Inbounds tournament, which is also very exciting, both at 5 p.m. Eastern, so about an hour from here. And with that, I would say, have a good evening, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks, y'all.
G-Forces hits Universe Superman Taylor Game 3. Check it out.